I'm going to try to get through this, but it's a little bit personal, so stick with me. In the waves of hypocrisy coming from Republicans, the claim that they are pro-life while they simultaneously attack public health is by far the most destructive, because RFK just spent hours testifying before the Senate. This fucking guy is a lawyer, not a nurse, not a doctor, not even a chiropractor. RFK Jr. has no medical knowledge that you couldn't find yourself while scrolling on your toilet at 2 a.m. And yet he sat there and he told members of Congress, including one physician who is a Republican member of the Senate who actually supported his nomination. And he told them that they are incorrect in how they understand data around childhood illnesses, and that it's actually a handful of RFK's doctor friends, not the scientific community, who should be trusted. There's so much noise coming from this motherfucker, so I'm just going to instead tell you exactly what it means to me, because my son was only 7 months old, a sweet, doughy little baby, when he was diagnosed with RSV. His wheezing was so bad, his oxygen dropped so low, we had to take him to the hospital. He had a fever, his oxygen was in the low 90s, and they had to give him vaporized prednisone just so he could breathe. My wife and I had to stand there helplessly, watching our baby's nostrils flare with every breath, watching his ribs suck in while his stomach came out, wheezing audibly with every single breath like he was having an asthma attack. But asthma and RSV attack the lungs differently, and there is no inhaler for RSV. We stood there while our pediatrician told us to our face that there is no cure, only this treatment so that hopefully his lungs don't get so tired he stops breathing before his body can kill the virus. And he did recover, fortunately, like most kids do. But RSV hospitalizes 50 to 80,000 kids in the United States every year, and every single year 100 to 300 of those kids don't go home. Those parents stood there in those hospitals just like my wife and I did, and after 3 or 4 days of watching their baby struggle to breathe, they just stopped, and they had to go home with no one in their arms. And now there is a preventive cure for RSV, a treatment that prevents 90% of hospitalizations in children. But without insurance or subsidies, that treatment could cost hundreds of dollars. And if that fucking quack who is in charge of authorizing recommendations for children decides he just doesn't like it, then all of those preventable hospitalizations, all of those preventable medical expenses, and all of those kids who would have otherwise been saved will once again have to be laid at the feet of these pro-life Republicans, all because they are too stupid, too lazy, and too selfish to take the time to understand science.